Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is God Concept Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. Be ferocious, man. You gotta go after it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it down. When you get it, they gonna act like you don't deserve it. And if you don't get it, they gonna act like you ain't worth it. So, fuck 'em. Get after it, man. What I realized, you gotta appoint yourself to whatever you wanna do. Cause ain't nobody gonna point you to it, right? Ain't nobody gonna point you to it unless you got a machine behind you, right? But if you don't got a machine behind you, then you gotta appoint yourself to it. You know what I mean? Put yourself out there, keep at it, monetize yourself. I had a great day. It was a little crazy, but it was great. I felt a little lightheaded and everything. I think I had a little slight hint of vertigo or whatever. I got past it though. You know what I mean? I did get past it. Just resting a little bit today. Man, I learned a lot of lessons today. I learned a lot about random acts of kindness. You know what I mean? A gentleman, I walk my dog around the neighborhood and everything. So, a gentleman, I was walking past, I seen him vaping, he was on his iPad, I'm listening to music and doing my thing, like I normally do, a podcast of music. So, I walk, I go to the store, they don't got the e-liquid, so I come back, I casually says out loud, they ain't had the e-liquid or whatever. Offered, he goes in, grabs the e-liquid, I fill up my vape or whatever. And there's a nice interaction between two people. You know what I mean? It was just a random act of kindness where, it wasn't none of nobody's business that I didn't have no e-liquid. He took it upon himself to say, hey, I got some. Boom, here you go. A lot of people don't do stuff like that nowadays. We need more of that in the world. Random acts of kindness and things like that. Because every now and then it's like, where do you get that from? Where do people get the thought or like the inspiration to commit a random act of kindness? You know what I mean? That comes from the Creator. That comes from a higher power. You know what I mean? How do we experience God, grace, the Creator's grace and mercy, if not through each other, right? Because the Creator isn't here in the flesh right now, right? So is us. It's us where we gotta extend kindness and acts of kindness towards each other so we could have God's grace and mercy. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might do somebody wrong and they might extend you mercy because that's the godly thing to do. Because they did what they wanted to do, it would go too far. So before it goes too far, they would just rather extend you, mercy. They might not even say anything to you about the mercy that they're extending to you, but it's extended to you nonetheless. You understand? That's how that works. Even with the grace thing, it's like a person could extend you grace and you don't even know it's coming. You don't even know it's there. But this person extended you grace just based upon who you are or based upon your circumstance, and they see that you don't deserve that, so they're going to extend you some type of grace. You know what I mean? It might be a person behind the scenes that you dealing with in a corporation. You dealing with a corporation. They look into it and say, oh, okay, They gonna do this, boom, boom, bam. Next thing you know, what you thought was a bad situation became good because somebody at that company extended you grace. God put that on their heart and, on their mind to say, hey, let me extend this person grace. And then vice versa, you know what I mean? You got to extend grace and mercy to each other as well, to people. Because you got people in your life that you might be mad at. And you might have forgot why you mad at them. Or you might know why you mad at them. But the whole thing is, you got to forgive to be forgiven. I'm not saying forget about it, because I don't forget shit. Me personally, I don't forget nothing. If you did me wrong, I ain't forget about it. But I will extend grace and mercy, because that's what we do. You know what I mean? If I don't do it, then who's going to do it? You know what I mean? Plus, if I don't forgive, that's me not forgiving myself. That's just basic spirituality to me. That's all I strive to do, is just be the best person I could be and try to extend that grace and mercy and let that inward illuminating light shine outwardly through the deeds and actions that I do towards other people. You know what I mean? And it works out in my favor. So far, I'm blessed. I don't have much. I don't require much to do what I do. And that's all it is. I got my hardships and things that I'm going through. That's why if you see me a lot of times, I got my earbuds in and I'm just chilling, hanging out with my dog. Because frankly, if I can't be with the people that I want to be with, then I don't want to be with anybody at all, to tell you the truth. So, every now and then I have my social interactions here and there and stuff like that. And I really don't mind. You know what I mean? I'm a people person. I love to see people happy and things like that. But at times, things that I deal with weigh so heavy on my mind and on my heart and on my soul. It's just, at times, I just don't want to be bothered. So at times, I just rather, be a recluse, go into my nomadic stage or nomadic mode or whatever, and just read, write, or watch something. Normally I'm thinking of, I'm researching different things for my new book that's coming up, Moonlit Marshes. I'm doing research to bring this character Marshall Cuts to life. So I'm doing that, and I also write music because I'm taking this, I'm taking the music thing and I'm trying to develop a sound in a way, if you say. I want to develop a certain sound, so I'm trying to put out different music in different type of genres. And it's hard because I'm not a producer. I'm not a producer at all. So I am producing this music myself, and like I said, it's just me doing all this stuff. And I mean, for the most part, it's just me putting multiple irons in the fire. With the podcast, with the books, the music, the streams, the reviews, and stuff like that. It's just all irons in the fire because I'm trying to get to a place where I'm stable enough to travel to the United States or travel abroad and not have to worry about working at a 9-to-5 or having to confine myself to one situation or one place at one time. I don't want my children to have to do that as well. So that's why I'm building a legacy for them. That's why I'm writing these books and putting these podcasts together, because I want to expound on these type of issues and these type of topics, because enough of us are just being complacent. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very rewarding to work at a career and have a job and everything. And me personally, I'm a career guy. I love to drive and everything. But the whole thing is, if I could build something, in my time away from working at a company or organization or whatever, right? If I could take that time and build something, you know, why not do that? Why not actually take the initiative and do that? See, I took my time and I did my research, and I'm trying to put together everything in proper perspective. And once everything is put in order, it's like set it and forget it. You know what I mean? I could just put it in place, have everything running, and just, you know, be on autopilot, kind of. Or not autopilot per se, but running things in a more comfortable way where I could have my book writing at a certain time point. See, I want to put myself on a schedule. You know what I mean? Schedules are important. That way you have everything in order, everything in line at one point in time. It's like, you know what you got to do. I got to do this at 6 a.m. At 7 a.m. I got to do this. At 8 I'm supposed to be doing this. You got to structure yourself like that in order to do everything that you have to do in a day on a daily basis. You have to do it every day. You have to do it constantly. So I want to set up times where I set up, you know, recordings for my podcast. I want to set up times where I set up recordings for my music, workout times, different time periods. But it's kind of hard because my time periods are kind of flexible. So I give myself 3-hour windows, like gaps. You know what I mean? So 3-hour intervals in my day will be dedicated to a certain thing, whether that's helping out with something around the house, or whether that's making music, or whether that's doing books, or whether that's recording my podcast, or even sometimes it may be something as little as just thinking of a concept or writing a song or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen within that 3-hour windows of time that'll skew whatever I have to do. So what I have to do is roll with it. You know what I mean? Bruce Lee said, don't be the glass, be the water. You know what I mean? You have to be the water. You have to be flexible. You have to be willing to work around different obstacles and things, because obstacles and things happens all the time. It's systematic, to be honest with you. I believe it's systematic. I think it's some type of intuition with people where they know when you're doing something that's pertinent, or something where you have to, you know what I mean, give it your all or something. And it's like the tactic is to distract you from doing what it is you have to do, from handling that business, from taking you away from their reality. Because to be honest with you, if you're doing the norm, if you're doing the normal thing, that's you being in their reality. If you're doing exactly what you want to do, you're no longer in somebody else's reality. Now you're living out your reality. And people are uncomfortable with that. People are uncomfortable with change. Anytime you change, or anytime you evolve into something other than what you used to be, people are so uncomfortable with that. And it's a shame. You know what I mean? People have to learn to accept that, to adapt, and learn that people aren't the people they used to be. If I'm the same person that I was yesterday, I wouldn't have any new thoughts or any new concepts, any new revelations, any new philosophies, any new art to speak about. We don't continue to be the same. You know what I mean? I believe that if you don't speak to somebody within a year's time, you really don't know that person anymore. Because in that year's time, that person could have went through so many changes in their life, and so many situations that changed the whole foundation in which they process thoughts. And that's deep. That right there is deep. In 7 years, they say your whole mentality change. The whole characteristics of who you are can change within 7 years based upon the different criticisms that you receive from people, from those different situations you've been through each year, each day, each month, each week of your life, on whatever level that is. Because you might have some months, you might go through a whole month where everything is peachy keen. Everything is going your way, your girl treating you right, work's treating you right, or whatever you're doing for finance. The car's running good, your housing is right, you're able to do everything in the world. Then the next month comes and everything's tight. Everything's tight. You gotta tighten your belt. Y'all gotta eat ramen noodles. You gotta bust out the ramen. You know what I mean? You gotta bust out the oatmeal for breakfast. You ain't eating steak and lobster and things like that for a month straight. You know what I mean? It's tight. You gotta rob Peter to pay Paul. You see what I mean? Things get like that. It get like that for a month. Sometimes it get like that for 6 months, a year. You never know. But the whole thing is, what do you do in that time? What do you do in that time when the naysayers are doubting you? When you got fewer people believing in you, trying to push you to actually do something with your time, right? Then you have people saying, oh, he ain't shit. He ain't gonna do shit. He ain't not that. Yeah, I mean, that's how it go. That's part of the thing. That's why you need to take that time, whatever absentness or whatever you're feeling, instead of doing harm with it, flip that negative into a positive and do something good with whatever free time or free energy or thought that you have. Use that use those ideas that you got. Use that intellectual property that you have. Because nobody could take the intellectual property away. People could attack your housing. People could attack your personal personality, who you are as a person. People could attack anything they see on the outside. But anything you build with your intellectual property is yours. And they cannot take that from you. No matter what. No matter what they say. Because that's something you built. That's your house of cards. And you can stack those jokers up as high as you want them. That's the duality of it. That's the duality of it. That's the duality of a concept. That's God concept. Because people always judging books by the cover. People judge a book by a cover so much that they never really get the inside story. They never really get the scoop on why things are how they are. And sometimes it's beyond even the person that's being looked at's understanding. Sometimes it's beyond your understanding. Sometimes you're going through something because heritage. Sometimes it's culture. Sometimes it's an ancestor spirit that's dwelling within you, that's making you do certain things. Because we are our ancestors, right? If you really want to get to a spiritual aspect of it, you are who created you. And the creator is connected to your ancestors. Your ancestors, when you link it up, like say it's a pearl necklace, right? A pearl necklace has an end. That first pearl got put there by someone. Whoever created that pearl necklace put that pearl there. Your ancestor was a pearl put there by the creator. And you're attached to that creator. So that ancestor spirit is in you. That ancestor spirit dwells in you, put there by the creator. And sometimes we're doing what the creator wants us to do. We have to do it. Your calling, your soul calling is something you have to accept. You cannot say no to it. You cannot shy away from it. If you have something that the Creator wants you to use. And the Creator wants to wield you to be an instrument in a way to move about and do certain things in your life to help other people's do things and help move about things in their life, even if that's just somebody seeing you do these things. You have to do it. It's your soul calling. If the Creator appointed you to do certain things in your life, you have to do it. I don't care what a person thinks of you. I don't care if a person says, "Oh, you shouldn't," or you ought to not be doing this. At a point in time, it's like either you're gonna help me do it, or I'm gonna do it anyway, right? Either you're gonna make this easy for me, so this journey could be graceful and merciful and plentiful for all of us, or you're gonna make it hard for me, and I'm gonna get it done any damn way. And that's the duality. That's the duality of a concept. That's the God concept. Because God's not going to let you shy away from what He wants you to do. So whether it's hard, whether it irritates you, whether it irritates the people around you, guess what? It's going to get done anyway. So fuck what anybody say. Do what you got to do. And that's called strong positive energy. Because it's never negative. Like I said, I don't carry, or we shouldn't carry, any hatred or malice towards anybody, even if they don't believe in what you're doing, even if they don't see the vision. No, let them live. Let them do them. Just understand that you on your journey on your own accord, and you doing it by yourself, because this is how you were supposed to do it in the first place. And sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes ain't nobody supposed to be on your journey with you. Or sometimes the person who is supposed to be on your journey, sometimes the ship is sailed. Sometimes they discovered their own type of journey or whatever. Sometimes they don't believe in you or the journey that you going on. So they doing their thing and you doing your thing, but it's still no love lost there. You know what I mean? It's not like, hold on one second. I gotta take a brief break. I gotta use the bathroom. Be right back. Hey, real quick, everybody. I got 2 great titles available on Amazon and Kindle bookstores. The first title is called Morals and Values. The second title is called One Leap of Faith. Both of these titles are powerful literature that I wrote myself and published myself. I'm proud of. I'm very proud of them. And also on Tidal, Pandora, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, Google Music. No matter where you listen to music, SoundCloud. Pretty soon Audio Mac is already on Audio Mac, but I gotta put new stuff on Audio Mac. But I got music available over there. If you could just give me a stream, give me a listen, give me a follow on YouTube, GVG, Gaming Vaping Guns over there. YouTube, on Twitch is GVG215 for the Twitchers out there. And listen, man, just support the content. I'm trying to grow, trying to do some positive things out here. With the books, One Leap of Faith is all about helping you, giving you that daily dose of, mental fortitude that you need to follow your dreams and go for the goals that you're trying to achieve in your life. And Morals and Values is exactly that. A book that's jam-packed with nothing but morals and values. It's a great read. Both books are reads for ages 10 and up. You know what I mean? Easy reads, great books. Please go out there and check them out. Check out the music, Mr. Pagan. Over and out. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. All right, right back at you. Yeah, man, your journey is yours and no one else's. Your journey is yours and no one else's, man. And it's crazy because after everything start getting, everything get rolling, sometimes you have people that join on and you could get partners with or whatever. Sometimes it's a person that's trying to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you meet somebody or you already got somebody in life that you didn't even know had the same vision because they perhaps didn't tell nobody or express their vision to anybody. And sometimes they'll join you on your journey as well because, sometimes that's how you attach to people. It's like, damn, I didn't know they was doing that. I'm pretty much doing the same thing adjacent to what they're doing. Maybe we could feed off each other and do this thing together and you know what I mean, make this journey happen quicker than we would alone. You know what I mean? Two minds are always greater than one. Two minds are always greater than one. Whenever you get two people thinking alike and they're on the same accord and they got the same dream and vision in mind, it always works out for the best. You know what I mean? And that's the duality of the thing. Because if you have a mind with you that's not on the same accord, either you're going to get them there or you're not. Either you're going to get them there or they're going to stop you from getting there. See, that's the thing. You can do it with somebody or you can do it without somebody. But either way, you have to do it. That's why this podcast is called God Concept. Because what I try to do is I try to step back and see the bigger picture. I try to look in between the lines because life is like a jigsaw puzzle. It's more than just your piece to it. All the pieces of your life is like a jigsaw puzzle. And when you put them all together and you really step back, you can really see the big portrait of your life and how it was pieced together. Because your life is no coincidence. The things you go through is no mere coincidence. I done been through all types of experiences in my life. Good, bad, spiritual, physical, mental. Oh my God. The experiences I've been through is just downright spooky. And these are revelations and testimonies that I keep to myself a lot. But a lot of things that I go through are things dealing with spiritual things, in the spiritual aspect of things. And I get certain feelings and I move in certain ways that I believe are the ways of my ancestors. And I've been trying to do certain things in my life that hasn't come to fruition because I believe there's pushback from other entities that don't allow me to do this. Like, you know what I mean? You always got shaitan, right? You got the shaitan. So if you're appointed to do great things in your life, if you're appointed to do great things, the shaitan will try to see fit that you don't do it. But even when shaitan tries to stop you from doing this, you know what I mean? You have to push through all the fitna. You have to push through all of that and still achieve and accomplish what you have to do. No matter whether you have no money, whether nobody believes in it, no matter whether you gotta steal, kill, rob, do what you gotta do, you gotta get it done. Not all of that. You know what I mean that in the most positive way. Trust me. Because sometimes you just gotta figure out how to get it done. Sometimes you just gotta ask, because closed mouths don't get fed. So you don't gotta steal, kill, rob. You just gotta socially plug yourself into people. See? That was the shaitan right there speaking. Still, kill, rob, and all that. That's the shaitan speaking, because you don't have to do evil things to get good results. Normally, when you do evil things, negative results come from it. Sometimes negative results come in the guise of a positive result. See what I mean? If you do negativity to get a positive result, normally some negative is going to come out of there somewhere. You're going to have some type of repercussions for the bad things that you do. So that's why I try to do things in a positive way. Instead of doing negative things and trying to get positive results, I try to put positive vibes out there, positive energy, positive books, positive writings, positive music, so I can get positive results, right? That's why in my books, if you go on Amazon store, they're free. These are free books. You could just pick them up, read. You could download them. The great thing about it is, if you got a phone, you pretty much got my book already in your pocket. If you got a smartphone, my book is already in your pocket. That's how I look at it. That's why I released it this way, virtually. If you have a smartphone or smart device, which I know everyone in the world does, right? Just download the book. Just go on your Amazon store, your Kindle store, type in Mark Pagan Jr. and watch two titles pop up: One Leap of Faith and Morals and Values. And these are my first two publications. My next book is going to be called Moonlit Marshes, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful journey with my character Marshall Cuts. These are the things I have planned. Oh, and I'm also writing a Christmas book called Santa Was Here and He Left His Chair. I started writing it with a great friend of mine, who shall remain nameless. She's a wonderful woman, and I want to continue writing this book. Even though she's not writing it with me, I'm still going to write it. You know what I mean? She's fine. She's in good health. She's in good spirits. I know that. But it's just, sometimes people journeys take a veer, just like I was talking about earlier. That's all. So she's on her journey, and I'm still on my journey with the publications and the becoming an author, which I'm so proud of, and I know she's proud of me as well. And with the music as well, that's available all over the place. You can stream it. I know she's proud of that as well. So there you go. I'm gonna put that positive energy out there right there, and Santa Was Here and He Left His Chair will be out by Christmas this year. Yes, yes. So yeah, man. Um, wow, that's gonna be this episode. This is a good episode, man. This was amazing. Listen, I like to say that I appreciate anybody and everybody who who's here for listening. Please, thank you. Thank the creator, and you have a blessed one. All right, stay positive.